Careful, absolute, and leaves nothing to chance, Fiona enters the league. A young girl whose origins are wrapped in mystery, with only her railgun at her side, she's quickly risen through the ranks of the Cosmic League. Her desire is to uncover the secrets behind her birth. Hey guys, Epsy here. Today we're going to talk about Fiona. Fiona is a bot of the Buster class which focuses mostly on her main weapon damage. She carries 10% more resistance towards beam attacks, with the trade-off being -6% towards physical damage. Her main weapon, her composite railgun, is a ranged attack which deals electric damage. It starts at 15.8 force at C rank, which can end all the way to 27.1 force at S rank. Her composite railgun also doubles as her sub-weapon, which is a sub-target attack type which deals beam damage. It starts at 10.0 force at C rank, which can end all the way to 17.7 force at S rank. Her EX weapon, Magna Gun, is a ranged attack which deals physical damage. It starts at 2.9 force at C rank, which can end all the way to 5.0 force at S rank. Fiona's shift action, Angel Float, launches her backwards into the air while granting her a firing speed buff. Just a few quick notes. Fiona's railgun main requires her to charge up the weapon before she can fire it. However, if you hold down the button, she will continuously fire it without needing to charge it after every shot. And without further ado, I'll be honest. Upon running into Fiona, I literally fell in love with her, and not only her, but the Buster class in itself. And this is thanks to her. She literally has one of the best ranges in the game. Her shift action is amazing for getting out of sticky situations. Plus, on top of that, with the buff that she gets, literally just makes her a god in a sense. And on top of it, and most importantly, she's a starter bot. What more can you really ask for? But at the same time, I can't really say that she's perfect. One of the first issues that you'll notice about her right off the bat is she doesn't have a lot of mobility. And on top of it, where she does have mobility, it's kind of awkwardly placed. Her flying speed is a little bit higher than her movement, than her ground speed. So carting for movement tends to get a little tricky, but there are workarounds around this. Then after that, her main railgun weapon, even though it has a lot of range, and I mean, I can't stress this enough that it has a lot of range. It requires charging and it has low ammo. And then even with the charging and the low ammo, the reload speed on it is dreadful. I mean, it is really painful. And her Magna Gun is also alright, but it's a little clunky. Then going over to her railgun sub-weapon, it only targets up to 2 enemies, which is a little disappointing because with her being the Buster class, you would think that with her having range, she would be able to deal with crowd control at a great distance pretty easily, like the way Destructor or even Amadius could. But this by no means means that she's bad or this makes her not really worth using. Like, these are just some of the nuances you'll notice along the way with playing with her. But like I was saying, she just really made me fall in love with the Buster class because it's just, they really stepped it up, especially Fiona. Fiona in particular stepped up how Busters are different from parts from CosmicBreak 1. They don't have to be slow and clunky or big and chunky. They're actually sleek and can go into the weirdest situations, and they can be just as versatile as an assault in a sense, where they can play somewhat close and somewhat far. And Fiona can do this very well. But at the end of the day, you're probably wondering, what is she made for? Where does she really stand? Well, it is pretty straightforward, but it's a little bit more detailed than you would think. Yes, she's long range. By far, she's long range. But the one thing that she's best at is she's the sniper that picks off a specific target. She is amazing at focus fire. And if you can capitalize on this, you will be feared on the battlefield. Fiona is one of those bots that once you actually take the time to really learn her, and it doesn't take much time to learn that much about her, you will literally be able to see so much potential with what she can do and what she can't do. And once again, with the fact that she's very versatile with the way she can be carded, really leaves you to just never really be dissatisfied with how she performs. When Fiona hits the battlefield, she's the long-range assailant. She's the distance punisher. But she's not using her range as a display of marksmanship. She's using it as a display of mastery. There are a few bots I recommend Fiona fighting against, and there are a few I highly recommend not fighting against unless you either don't have a choice or you are definitely sure you can take this opponent down. The classes I recommend Fiona fighting against would be Aerials and Fortresses. When it comes to Aerials, they have to reach you in order to get within appropriate range of being able to fight you. And because of this, Fiona can take advantage of this very well. Keep in mind, she does have decent tracking with most of her weapons. When it comes to Fortresses, they don't have any ability to really come down and fight you in close range, and you have much better tracking than them, and you can compete with them in range. So when you see these two classes, these are pretty much free kills. Pick them off when you get the chance. Her rival classes would be other busters and jammers. When it comes to other busters, whoever has the upper hand has the upper hand. But when it comes to jammers, they tend to have debuffs that can really hurt and stunt the potential that Fiona has, such as her range or her movement speed. And moreover, they tend to stick around a lot of people. So these aren't places that Fiona should really be at when it comes to fighting. Now this leaves the last two classes. The classes I highly recommend not fighting against unless you either don't have a choice or you are definitely sure you can take these opponents down. These are Panzers and Assaults. That means Lunastasias, Mias, Rays, Machantlets, Mighty Binds, and so forth. When it comes to these two classes, they have a lot of means and a lot of utility to get in their opponent's faces. And when they get in Fiona's face, it's quite a bit of a pain to get them away from you. Most importantly, these classes tend to excel at melee combat. So once Fiona starts taking damage from them, she's gonna go down really quick. Cartridges I recommend on Fiona would be Kick Jump of any type, the second shift action, Heavy Impact, Sway, and Air Running. Fiona is very easy to use and a bot that I highly recommend getting due to her amazing range and great shift action. But once again, the low mobility that she has and the fact that her weapons are a little clunky in terms of charging or having low ammo or low reload really hurts her. But if you're looking to excel at range combat or anything of that sort, then this is definitely a bot for you.